Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how I built an automation that takes all of my GoHighLevel contacts and sends the data straight into a Google Sheet. This has been a game changer for me because now I don't have to manually export or manually enter anything anymore. The automation does it all for me. So here's the problem I was dealing with before. I would have all of my GoHighLevel contacts, but every time I wanted to analyze or organize the data, I had to manually copy and paste or export it into a Google Sheet. And so it wasn't scalable for me, especially as my client list grew. And in this video, I'm going to show you absolutely everything on how to build this automation from start to finish for contacts, for opportunities, for everything in GoHighLevel. So if you can't just sit down and watch this for however many minutes it is, 10, 15, 20 minutes, then you're not going to be organized and you're going to want to watch this so you can actually make data-driven decisions that are going to help your business boost your revenue in the future because you're making smart decisions based off your audiences and your customers' actions. So essentially this automation waits for a GoHighLevel update, whether you created the contact, you updated the tag or the D&D status, any update to it. And as soon as it gets that, it's going to find the change. It's going to find what you changed, what you did to that contact. It will copy that and it will take all of that information too. And then it goes straight into a Google Sheet and it enters all of the data straight into it. And without leaking anything, it's going to look something just like this. We have the email address, first name, last name, source, all of these headers up here. Of course, you don't need this many. I just like to have as much information as possible so I can make data-driven decisions. So the tool we're going to be using for this is actually called make.com. And once you're inside, you're going to create a module. So we're going to press this plus button and we're going to add a new module called GoHighLevel. And it's going to be watch events. So we're going to create a webhook right here. And it's going, you don't need to do anything in GoHighLevel. You're just going to press create a webhook and you're going to see record type. And so there's contact and opportunity. I'm going to show you what's inside. So contact, you can actually track either if the contact was created, if it was updated, whether the D&D status, which is if they opted out of the emails or maybe SMS messages, things like that. And there's also contact tags, so the tags that you add to them to organize, and if the contact was deleted. And the other record type, the second type, is going to be opportunity. And this is going to be if the opportunity was created. This is going to be more for like the funnel side of GoHighLevel. So when you have a pipeline and you see the actual people inside of it, this is how it's going to look. As you can see right here, that's how a pipeline looks inside GoHighLevel. So once the opportunity is created, once the opportunity is updated, once the opportunity stage is updated, when the status is updated, when it was assigned to an update, when the monetary value was updated, how much they're worth, and if the opportunity was deleted. So first we're going to start with contact. So we're going to press that and we're going to select all, or you can uncheck the ones that you don't want to track. But in this case, we're going to track everything. So we're going to press save and it's going to create that webhook. Cool. You don't need to press show address. So press OK. And then right after this, we're going to add a router. So we're going to press flow control and we're going to press router. And it's going to have these two. And essentially for this one, we're going to have three. The very first, you want to make sure that email actually exists because if you're like me and you have Instagram connected to GoHighLevel, they're going to be tracked too because it counts as a contact inside of GoHighLevel. And sometimes they don't have an email. And if the only thing you want to track in this data sheet is going to be emails, then you're going to want to make sure they have an email. So we're going to set up a filter here and we're going to we're going to make a label. It's going to be called email exists. And the condition is going to be, we're going to press here. And then we're going to make sure email exists. Okay. And then that's what it's going to be. And then we already labeled it, which is good. And then now we have the router. So we're going to do 3 routes for this automation because one is going to be when the contact was created. The second is going to be when the contact was updated. And third is going to be the contact is updated, but it's not in the sheet. And most likely if you're creating this sheet, but you've been using GoHighLevel, you don't even have like all of the contacts inside of a Google Sheet already. So we're going to make it so that even if the contact was updated, it's still going to go in the Google Sheet no matter what. So before we actually do the routing though, we need to actually go inside of Google Sheets and we need to create the video database. So I'm going to have to play everything at the bottom again. But as you can see as the headers, I have email address, first name, last name, source, date collected, all of this up here. And so for me, I'm just going to copy and paste this into the other sheet because I'm just building this one for you guys. So when we go back to make.com, we're going to add a new module called Google Sheets. And we're going to add a row. So we're going to connect it to our Google account. Just connect the spreadsheet that you have that you want it to go to. Make sure everything's in place. So for me, it's going to be personal email database and the sheet name is going to be video database. And I have it as video database because it's going to be for this video specifically. My actual database is in this sheet right here. That's called email database. But anyhow, we're going to go back to make.com, press the sheet name that is connected to it, and make sure you press yes to contains headers because headers are going to be everything that you put up here. So once you press yes to that, it's going to pull all of those headers up. And then now you can map everything from GoHighLevel straight to the Google Sheet column or the correct column it needs to be in. So for email address, we're going to press email from GoHighLevel. For first name, we're going to press first name, last name, and you're just going to want to do that continuously until you have all of the data that you want inside of it. So I'll go down it just in case you guys don't know what to map. So for source, I want to track the source where they came from. For date collected, we're going to press, where is it? Date added. For D&D status, email, we're not going to press email. We're going to press the little arrow next to it, and we're going to press status. And we're going to do the same thing for SMS, status, and then calls and voicemails, same thing, call, status. D&D for Facebook Messenger, same thing, Facebook, status, and those are the only ones I wanted to track. I don't want to do WhatsApp or Google My Business because I don't do that. And phone number, we're going to press phone number. Where is that? Phone. And then for tags, we're going to press tags down here. I just pressed the tags in general so I can track absolutely everything. Contact ID, we're going to scroll all the way up and we're going to press ID. And then everything else you see that says opportunity, that's going to be for the next section of this video. So you can ignore that for now. And now we're going to press OK. So now we have that set up. But if you want, actually, you can even add another high level module and we're going to press show more. You can even add a note to the contact just so we know that they're already in the automation. So for the note, once it's done loading right here, it's loading pretty slow right now, but you can just put in a note added to datasheet or whatever you want it to say, just so that you're aware that they're already in the sheet. And really quickly, we're going to rename this to a contact created, just so we know this specific route is for the contact being created. So contact created. So we're done with that one. Now we're going to go to the second route, which is actually going to see if the contact was updated. So really quickly, let's rename this contact updated, contact updated. And now we're going to create a new module in the Google Sheets this time, and it's going to be search for rows. Now it's going to search for a row specifically because we've updated the contact and they're probably already in the Google Sheet. It needs to search for that actual contact inside of the Google Sheet, inside of each row. So for this one, we're going to order by, and we're going to press email address because it's going to search for the actual email. And for the filter, we're going to press that. We're going to press email address is equal to the GoHighLevel email, just so it knows that they're the same thing. And once you do that, we're just going to press, you don't need to do anything else. You can press OK. And so, okay, it still has the one. Sometimes you just need to re-click it. But now that it's going to search for their email address, now we just have to update that row that was updated. So we're just going to add another Google Sheet module, update a row. And for the row number, this one got me when I first started. It kept messing up. But you're just going to press row number from the previous Google Sheet within the same exact route from this Google Sheet right here. And now we can just fill everything in that might have been updated or that was updated. And for this one, you might as well just fill in everything again, similar to how you did for add a row, except we're going to do it for update a row. So email address, we can close this one. It's going to be the same one as GoHighLevel. We're just going to update it because it was updated in the CRM. So we're going to press email for the email address. First name, and you already know how to do everything else because I did that earlier. Now, when you fill this in, you're pretty much done. Every time that a contact is updated inside of GoHighLevel, they're going to be updated inside the Google Sheet. And it's pretty insane how this works. And you're going to be mind blown by how crazy this is. So now for this third row, we can actually just copy and paste the previous search rows. So we're going to clone this one and we're going to connect it to the router. And so it's going to search for their email address, except this time their email address doesn't exist in the Google Sheet. And so how we can make it know that is by adding another module, and this one is going to be add a row. So we're going to add a row, and actually we don't even need to do that one again. We can just clone this one from above, put it all the way down here, make it so it's nice and neat, and then now we can add a filter that says let's do email doesn't exist. Email doesn't exist, and we're going to make it so it knows that their email from GoHighLevel, we're going to press email does not exist. Okay, so here I might have made a little mistake. You need to make sure the email doesn't exist in the Google Sheet, not in GoHighLevel, because if it doesn't exist in the Google Sheet after searching, then it's going to add a new row with their email because they weren't in the Google Sheet in the first place. And if it doesn't exist, we're going to add a new row, which is going to be filled with their information just so that we can track it and so that we have that in the data sheet. So now that's pretty much done. So we're going to save this one and we're going to actually create a whole new one. So scenarios, create a new scenario, and this one is going to be the opportunity one this time. So we're going to create another high level module, watch events. We're going to create another webhook for the same account, and record type this time is going to be opportunity. And for opportunity, we have all of these right here. If the stage was updated, if the status was updated, if it was created, if it was updated in general, all of that. So we're going to select all. We're going to press save, and then we're going to press OK. So now it's watching for those events. Make sure to save that. And now we're going to do pretty much the same thing as the previous one. And this one's going to be much more simple and easier to actually build, because if there are opportunities being updated or created, they're definitely already a contact inside of GoHighLevel, because you need to create a contact before giving them an opportunity or updating it or anything of that sort. So we're going to press another module. We're going to press Google Sheets, and we're going to actually search for the row which is going to have their contact info. So we're going to connect our Google Sheet, of course, and sheet name is going to be video database for this video. But there's a different way we're going to do this one, because the opportunity one for GoHighLevel, when you're watching events in make.com, it doesn't actually track their email address. It just tracks their contact ID. So instead of going by their email address, we're going to go and find their contact ID. So in the previous one, we had ID, and I messed up a little here because it's not contact ID, it's just ID. And I'm not sure if they're the same, and I don't really want to mess with it and find out. So we're just going to press is equal to ID, because in the previous one, we didn't select contact ID, we just selected ID. And I just want to keep it the same just so this automation works. So press ID, and then order by is going to be their contact ID, which is actually their ID. I need to change it. Hopefully you're not getting confused. And for order by, we're just going to select contact ID, which is actually just their regular GoHighLevel ID. And so we're going to press OK. And now we're going to add one more module, this last one, and it's going to be update a row. And we're going to update it like similar to the contact one, it's a contact section. We're going to update the row with everything that might have changed within the opportunity section. So row number, of course, is going to be row number in the Google Sheet from the previous one, so 2. And values, we can skip all of this because we're just tracking the opportunity ones. And so we can close this one, this Google Sheets. And as you can see, opportunities tracks everything right here. And we're going to update the opportunity pipeline. So I'm going to select pipeline ID. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually track the name of the pipeline. It just tracks the ID. But there is a way you can make the ID equal a certain pipeline or a certain name actually in Google Sheets. It requires another automation, which I'm not really sure how to do, but I'm not really worried about it because I can just find a pipeline with the ID anyhow. But for you organization freaks, you might want to actually get the name somehow with another automation. But that's there. And then for opportunity status, we're going to actually press a stage or status. And I don't have it in this Google Sheet, but you can actually track the pipeline stage ID, which you can actually transfer to the name, like I said before, for the pipeline ID. And you can also track the date added, the date it was created essentially, their contact ID, their actual contact ID, their name, the monetary value, how much they may be worth, which you have priced in the funnel, and all of that. So that's pretty cool. Once you press OK and save, make sure you turn this on, so immediately as the contact is updated, all the data is received and enters the Google Sheet. And then you'll have a beautiful contact sheet just like you see right here, with the email addresses, first name, last name, source, they collected all of that stuff. And if you want more help with this or even more automations just like this one, which are pretty crazy with make.com, you can actually join the Discord community where there's a bunch of AI agency founders and SaaS business owners who are all networking, giving away free value, free scripts, free automations, which I even found useful, which I'm going to showcase to you guys in following videos. And if you're looking to automate your social media, you can actually book a call with me below, because that's what we do for business owners to help them scale their business. But anyhow, hopefully this video is valuable. See you in the next one.